Hello, everyone. So many people here. Okay, well, it's 4 o'clock. Happy to start?
Yeah.
We're happy to start. Amazing.
Hello.
Hello. Okay, we're officially starting now. We've sorted ourselves out.
Okay.
So my name is Cherry, and I'm Dartside producer. If you haven't seen me before,
Hi, my name's Savannah. I'm the production coordinator for Dance Live.
if anybody can't hear us, please do pop a question in the chat. We've got 2 laptops here at the moment, so if there are any questions that come through, we'll kind of address questions at the end, but we are keeping a track of them while the other one is talking. Just to be aware that the event is being recorded, so if you don't want to be seen on camera, then yeah, please do turn your camera settings off. Cool. So recording and transcription should be going. So I'll just start to share my screen. Oh, I minimize this. Okay. And we will try and keep this as short as we can for you. Yeah, we don't want to keep you too long. So Darts Live 2026. It's here. It's happening. We're excited. So I'll start with communication and apps. So teachers' packs have been posted. So they're paper packs that have been bound really lovingly by myself. And they should have reached you by now. They were sent a few weeks ago. They were addressed to Dance Live lead teacher. So it might be worth, if you haven't received them yet, checking with your school reception. So that's yours for the year. That pack, a digital version, is available on our Teacher Zone, which I will show you right now if I exit here and go into my browser. So if you haven't accessed the Teacher Zone so far, it's your Bible, your hub for the whole year. So if you head to our Darts Live website homepage, which is www.dartslive.co.uk, this is our lovely homepage. At the moment, the Teacher Zone it's linked on this button here. That may change throughout the year. If at any point you can't find it, this really handy drop down is all of your resources. So you've got the Teacher Zone, the Student Zone, which we will have a check in a minute. But yeah, if you click on the Teacher Zone, it will then log you in here. If you haven't logged, it does require a login. You can use a Google account or whatever it is. It can be your school email address. It's worth noting that we don't have access to the passwords. That's the site hosts. So you will need to create a password for it. If you haven't logged in before, when you log in for the very first time, it will send us an email notification and we will need to grant you access. As soon as we've granted you access, we don't need to get that request again. You can just use your login and password. So this is the hub for the whole year. When you first log in for the first time, it will probably come up with a notification somewhere on your screen that says add to home screen. We would really recommend that. You can add it to your phone, your school tablets, iPads, your desktops. It just means it's more like a shortcut rather than a downloaded app, but it just means that it's got quick and easy access. It will also ask you if you would like to enable push notifications, which is a bit like if you get a brand new email in Outlook and a little pop-up comes up to say, you've had an email from whoever it is. So if you enable push notifications, whenever we send you emails, you will get a push notification on wherever you've downloaded. So it's really handy. For instance, if you're busy teaching at any point, we can send a push notification. If you've got the app downloaded or added to your home screen on your phone, you will then get a push notification, the same as like if you get a WhatsApp message. So as long as you don't swipe it away, it's there left for you ready to address it whenever you need to. And that just lets you know that we've sent an email out to all schools. On this, there's lots of resources and things across this zone, lots of pages here with different things on. Most importantly, on the bottom of every page here, we've linked how to book. So if you click on these booking links, that then books video calls with us. So please don't forget that they're there. We want you to contact us as much as possible. We want to support you the whole year round. There is no such thing as a silly question for us. We would rather that we gave you the answer than you feel like you have to assume or panic at any point down the line. And please do get in touch before you get to the point of panic, okay? Because our job is literally to support you. So please don't forget that. We're always happy to chat, and we're happy to arrange calls out of office hours as well, if that's what's helpful for you. Deadline dates and documents to download. This is all literally what's in your pack here. So that everything that's in your printed pack, you can then download here if you want to if you want to complete some of that pack digitally. So for example, your child name lists that you will need to give us on the day of the event, you can download a pack and complete that digitally if that's easier for you. There's also this child details and parent permission form. We don't need to get those back, but you may want to give those to your parents to receive the information that you need to complete some of our forms throughout the year. There's also some of these downloadable things to bring on the day, which like your lighting state sheet, for instance. The 2026 risk assessment is in process, so we'll upload that as soon as that is ready for you to go. And then your registration links for webinars are all here. Your forms to complete section, this is my favorite section. Everything is here that you will need to complete throughout the year. We are not estimating that anything else will be added to this. All you need to do is click on this form and it will open. And then that's how you submit. If I go back, once I've submitted that form, this red mark here will go green, so you'll know that you've submitted. There are deadline, like kind of countdown clocks, which are really helpful, and summaries of the information that's needed in each form. If you click on the small dots here, you can use that to complete the form. Once you've made a form, you can edit your submissions for most of these. The only forms that you won't be able to edit once they're submitted are the participant and staff details form and the participant invoicing form. And there are several reasons for that, which I will come to in a second. However, you can also, for most of these forms, draft. So you can start filling out some of them now and then come back to them later. So if you do make any drafts and save them, then next to each form, you just click on the continue with draft button, which will be enabled. We've put in the estimated time as well that it takes to complete these forms, but it's worth being aware that's how long it takes to complete them once you have the information needed. Okay, so that's just something to be aware of. But again, there's a summary of everything that's needed here. What else do I need to go through? Cool. Then if we come down to participant fees invoicing forms, some of you will know, if you've taken part in previous years, that you have been able to amend your invoices before. That's still the case, but for auditing purposes, what we've been asked to do this year is to have a separate form for amendments. So if you submit your invoicing form and then you would like to update your numbers, then you please do get in touch with us, email hello@dancelive.co.uk, and then we will send you a link to the amendments form. So that's just for us for tracking and auditing purposes. You will also be made aware when you enter the form that there are deadlines for amendments. So over the last few years, we've had many schools that have amended their invoices, which is fine, but they've kept amending and amending and amending past the payment deadline date. So in order to get payments when we need them due, which is before you arrive on the day, there are dates that are available to have a look at in the forms, and also here, I think. Yeah, so there's the invoice paid dates here as well, and amendment dates are available in the form to have a look at. Now, we are building it's taking a while, but we are building a sheet and a system that tracks and will automatically update you when forms need to be submitted. So what we are aiming for this year, at the moment we're doing it manually, but we are aiming and coding a system that will do it automatically for us, is so that you will get an email notification 7 days before something is due, the day that it's due, 3 days if it's overdue, 7 days if it's overdue, and 10 days if it's overdue. So if you submit a form, then it will just automatically update the system and say, yep, that's been submitted. So even if it's before the 7-day pre-period, you won't receive an email notification because it's already been updated. So that is taking some time to build. It's a lot of coding and it's taken a long time, but ultimately it will allow us a lot more time to spend working with you on your performances rather than chasing for admin. But please do bear with us. It is not perfect yet, and we are still doing lots of work and codes on it. Then worth mentioning, lastly, in this section, is Rita is sat down here. She's a babe. She is AI. And you'll also notice if you go to the student zone as well, if I click down here, there is Lenny the lion, also a Hun. So Lenny and Rita have been built. They are AI navigators. So they've been built as navigational tools. You can ask them where something is or what a deadline is. So it's things that already exist on the website. What we've been going through for the last few years is that a lot of the questions we're receiving via email are where things are, which is totally understandable because there is so much stuff on this website. So please do use those to find where things are, but it's worth being aware that they are not you can't pass information to us through them and they're not very conversational. But if you forget where something is, or things like we've uploaded photo codes into them, so if you misplace your photo code, for example, then please do ask Rita. She is there to help. And we've trained them as much as we can, but they are still being trained, and there are unlimited questions that you will probably need to ask them for them to be fail-proof. But we will try and get in touch with you if you've asked a question and they haven't answered it correctly. We can see a conversation chain. So we will try and get in touch with you if she's told you the wrong information. We will be checking it daily and we can get in touch with you. We've put some information across these pages on multiple pages. So things like, for example, finals, who is going to what final gets asked quite a lot. So we put this in these diagrams, we've put them on multiple pages. So the same as the booking links at the bottom here, we've just put them on multiple pages to help you find them a lot easier, because we do understand that there's a lot to go through. Yeah, so that's it for the teacher app. We also really recommend, there's so much stuff here on this resource site. Your young people don't need to enter a login for this. Again, you can add this to your home screen. There's all of your judging guidance here and your judging criteria. Please do read this. You've got concept resources, you've got copyright resources, there's LED screen, lighting design, there's loads of stuff here. And if there's anything that you would like but you can't find, do ask Lenny, see if he can find it for you down the bottom. But also just drop us an email and we will try and get a resource made and added for you. But yeah, I think that's all of communication and apps. There we go.
So moving on to video submission and workshops, you have your copyright and ownership form, your LED screen content, and your journey video. Your copyright and ownership form is the same as it has been previous years with drop form. Again, like Cherry said, on the app, it will show you exactly where, if you've done it or not. With that, we did have a query earlier about if you have multiple teachers uploading onto drop form, so you can get the green tick and you can keep a log of what forms are completed and what forms are not completed. It's a lot easier just to do it through one teacher's login, just to keep track of that. For the video submission, it's slightly different this year. We're going to use Google Form just because it keeps it all in one place. It means that you can upload a file that's really big. There's other platforms where we're limited on the amount of how big a file can be. So with the Google Form, we're asking the same questions. It would just be through that platform. As for your Google Drive, when it comes to your feedback, you'll be getting that either closer to your heat date or just slightly after. So if you don't gain access to it, you will eventually. So don't worry if you haven't gained access to it by your heat date. You will, after your heat date, you'll have all your feedback uploaded and we'll send you an email when that is done. Using the one-on-one workshops that we have for LED screen content, definitely use those. Cherry showed you just at the bottom. Now she's showing you where you can put in a form to get a workshop with us. If it's on the most basic things, so don't think any questions a bit silly or a bit basic. If you're like, I don't know how to do this one particular thing. If it's definitely Canva related, we abuse Canva in this office. We absolutely love it. PowerPoint, iMovie, anything like that about how you interact with the screen or any kind of editing, book onto a workshop with us and we'll go through it step by step. If it's about your content and connecting with your LED screen as well, we would cover those things as well. What else? Okay. Your evaluation form for the event will be in your submission. So again, don't leave this too late. One of the things, try and get your videos in as early as possible. We watch every single video that comes through, and if you've taken part in Dance Live previously, you'll know that you get the green light, say yes, your video is fine, or we'll say this needs to be amended or something's a bit wrong here. So the earlier you get it in, the better, and the more freelance you'll get on just rehearsing with your students, knowing the LED screen is fine. Any kind of amendments in previous years, it's been if the screen goes black or the music's not embedded into it. There's random things. It's never really about the content. It's more about how it's been put together is what our issue is and how it looks on the LED screen. So if it's the wrong size or something like that, it's never things where you have to go away and refilm things. Hardly anyway. I think that's all. One of the things, if you have any troubles with the Google form, try to avoid using any kind of sending us directly through email, because we probably just say use the Google form, especially WeTransfer. We found trouble with WeTransfer in previous years where it gets an expiry date. So when we've gone to go and download it, it's expired, and then it's this back and forth with teachers trying to get hold of it. So using the forms that we give to you, so drop form and Google form, are so much better than sending it through email, because we get so many emails, they will get lost. And you won't get the feedback or the response back as quickly. Whereas if it's the Google form, we set times and periods during the day to look through all of those, and we have an approval session where we watch loads of videos. So if it's in our emails, it probably won't be approved on that day, which means it takes longer and it's not good for you. So you can rehearse with your students with a green light LED screen. But yeah.
Cool. So moving on to the most legally important part of this process, is the participant and staff details form. This is due 2 weeks before your event date. If we don't receive that form 2 weeks before, you will not be able to participate. Your young people won't be able to perform. All of that information needs to go to the council before your performance date, and they require it 2 weeks before. So really important that you complete that as soon as you can, and just get it into us. Every what am I trying to say? Every adult must, aside, this is slightly different. If you are somebody that requires a carer, then you do not need a DBS check, but you are only allowed, that carer is only allowed to be responsible for the child that they are caring for. Everybody else, every other adult that is coming to the event, they must have a DBS check. We will not be allowed to let you in the building if you do not have a DBS check. So it is, depends where you go for the turnaround time for DBSs. But we would recommend trying to get your staff chaperones together as soon as possible, to get DBS checks done. Best practice is to be on the DBS update service. If not, then it's kind of a 3-year renewal. So if you still have a CRB check, that's a big red flag for us. You must have a DBS, and you will be asked to provide your DBS numbers within the participant and staff details form. If you have adults coming with you that are not teachers, so any non-school staff, they must also have a chaperone license. Again, this is the council rules in each location. We are aware of, there are lots of dance, kind of extracurricular dance events, platforms, festivals, school fetes and things that happen. Not necessarily school fetes, but summer fetes, church fetes, and they say, oh, we don't need this. Legally, they do have to do it. They're just not announcing that they're having a performance, and that's how they're getting away with it. Unfortunately, we're too well known by our councils. We run literally one of the biggest events in the country for dance and young people with the highest amount of participants. Therefore, unfortunately, we can't get away with this, and it is best practice. So chaperone licenses are required for all non-school staff. Chaperone licenses can take some time to come back. It's all dependent on whether your chaperone already has a DBS check or not. There are other things that can affect it, such as the amount of, if they've moved 2 or 3 times within the last 5 years, for example, it can then take longer for that process to happen. So we do recommend trying to find any of your chaperones ahead of time, and getting that chaperone license applied for as soon as possible. You will need to check with whoever it is that you're getting your chaperone license from, your local council, as to how long their chaperone licenses last. But they do tend to last over a year, 2 to 3 years. So it might be worth, particularly for newer schools, doing a call out to parents, because there are probably some parents that already have chaperone licenses if they've helped out with pantos and that kind of thing. And then lastly, the form itself, it requires a signature at the end, so it's legally binding contract. So that means that it can't be edited once it's submitted. So just to be aware of that. We do often have where teachers haven't, teachers maybe swap because of sickness and things after that 2 week deadline. If you want to change your staff names or have additions because you weren't able to get your ratio before that 2 week deadline, then send us that information via email. So anything like the staff names and staff DBS checks and chaperone license numbers, for example, you can provide that by email after you've submitted that form, if it comes a little bit later, to save you filling out the whole form all over again. But please do get in touch with us and we can talk you through that form. We can talk through it with other staff members, admin teams, that kind of stuff at any point throughout the year. So yeah, don't suffer in silence. Please do get in touch and we can walk you through it.
Tickets and merchandise and photos. We're no longer doing personalized t-shirts anymore, but you can pre-order them pre-event to pick up for your students on the morning of the event for them to wear during the day. The ticket information is live on the website now. For any updates on that, keep looking at the website as of when the tickets will go live, and things like that. There is a bursary scheme available now. There is a form on the Cherish You Now. There's a form on Jotform for you to apply for the bursary. Where is it? Just there. Photos can be purchased. This is similar to last year. For schools that came last year, we had the photos available for teachers and parents to purchase them. Teachers, you are asked post-event if you want to make them live for parents, if you want to purchase them yourself, or if you want parents to have the right to purchase them straight away. You will need to share that link directly with parents. We won't do it, just so that you have free reign for that. We have a question. The link has already been sent to you. It's in your packs. You'll be given a copy on the day. If you do lose it or anything like that, just email us and we can let you know what your code is. Once your photos have been uploaded, similar to last year, you'll receive a notification that your photos are live. We get emails a lot to say where are our photos. Our lovely photographer Vernon does a lot of editing and he has a lot of schools to edit, and he also comes on tour with us, so he's working and editing at the same time. So we just ask you to be patient post event to wait for your photos. And
it's usually about 2 weeks ish, I think, to get them back. But yeah, you'll get a notification through the system with your code.
Yeah. AI.
Yeah. AI.
So the use of AI, as much as we love it with Rita and Lenny, our lions, to do it. AI in your LED screen is a massive no. The judges really don't like it. They want you guys to use your creativity. They want your students to think outside of the box. If AI can do it, your students can do it. They like things that are hand drawn. If you go out and actively like film on location, anything like that, they can tell instantly. I sit with the judges every single heat day and they can tell instantly if AI has been used. Within like limitations, if like I'm trying to think.
Like Thomas said yesterday, it's similar to stock footage.
Yeah.
Use it to support and layer rather than be the focal point. Yeah.
Yes, right. Oh, that was sorry. I lost my train of thought. So sorry. Back with your what I was saying previously about your copyright and ownership forms, anything that is being used, make sure you put it on there. It's definitely there's like we want to see that it's on there. So when we watch your LED screen content, we want to show if it's been made by your students, if it's stock imagery, if it's AI, anything like that. Make sure you put it on there, even if you think it's not really like valid or anything like that. If it was a random picture, make sure you put it on your copyright form. Yeah.
Cool. And lastly, we are coming to the end now. Other updates. So we are looking at introducing an audience vote, which will then come with an A3 award. So if you've joined us before, we have other A3 awards like the technical award for the best technical team of the day and the fellowship award, which is nominated by other schools type thing. So this is going to be kind of in addition to that. And basically it just comes from the fact that I think all of our team, a lot of the times the technical team as well within house don't agree with the judges' decisions, and dance is subjective, performance is subjective, and we totally understand that. So this is a way of just making the audience feel like they're being heard, essentially. So we're working on this at the moment, and we will let you know in due course, probably when tickets will become available, how it's going to work, how we're voting, that kind of stuff, so that you can pass that information on to your parents. But please be aware that the audience vote won't contribute to first, second, third placing and kind of finals. It's similar to the technical award, for example. So no contribution towards finals placings, but it is just there for a little bit extra, but also just so that parents and audience members feel heard. This year, we think that we will be able to make streaming tickets available to purchase. So we are aware that there are lots of families that come from, a lot of our schools travel really far to their venues. So we're looking at making streaming tickets available to purchase so that they can still see it essentially live at the time. We're also aware that we have had streaming links available before to watch in dressing rooms and things, but it's not a great system because when all of the kids are in it on their phones in the dressing rooms, it then kind of reaches its capacity and limit. So we're looking at a system that will just basically enable as many people as possible to watch it if they would like to. We also have the yellow and red card system, which it's worth having a read of the information pack. It's available on the website. It's been updated in the code of conduct, which is available in your teacher pack as well. So over the last year, we kind of recognised that our system for behaviour that was in place wasn't quite effective. It was only effective up until the award ceremony. And then once the award ceremony happens, that space of time between awards and exiting the venue, there wasn't really anything in place to monitor best behaviour. So we have enabled a yellow and red card system. The official how it works, please do read up on it. But it essentially means that we can say, even if you've placed first or second and you are on your way to finals, if there is any behaviour that doesn't sit within our code of conduct between throughout the day, but also between that period of awards and leaving the venue, we have a right to say that you won't be invited to come to finals. If it's at a finals event, that then means if you receive that red card, that then means that you won't be invited back the following year, if that makes sense. So yeah, please do read up on that, make your young people aware. And then finally, the biggest one for us is Canva has updated their copyright music rules. So just to be aware, if you're a really big Canva user like us, we really recommend Canva if you haven't used it before. As schools, you can access Canva Pro for free. So we really recommend researching they call it Canva Education, but it's essentially Canva Pro, and it means that schools can have it for free, but you do need to apply for it and verify yourself. But do be aware that if you are editing in Canva, they've updated their copyright rules, so you won't be able, it depends on the song and the soundtrack. If you upload music that they deem as copyrighted, you won't, when you go to export your video, it won't be exported with your music track. So what we recommend is by all means using Canva, but you will probably then want to export or download your work from Canva and put it into something like iMovie to then add your music on the top. Really annoying because it used to be a great, yeah, if you were doing everything in Canva, it used to be great. But then, yeah, off of the back of that, we do really recommend using multiple platforms to make your stuff. So by all means, if there's a TikTok filter that your young people love, brilliant. And so you can take things from different platforms and then put it all together in one platform. iMovie is great for putting things all together, or things like CapCut. InShot is another one. So yeah, just be aware that Canva, you can't put your music, you likely won't be able to put your music in anymore. I think that's it.
We have some questions.
Questions.
So we're trying to ask, per our college policy, we have one member of staff per 10 students. Our DBS are updated by the college. will we just be able to share you the numbers our learners aged 16 to 19? So we don't believe we need chaperone licenses.
Yes, if you are a college, you won't need chaperone. I will double, triple check on the age for the chaperone licenses. I feel like you won't need them, but I would rather give you the right answer than the wrong answer because I'm guessing. So let me double check on that. But in terms of your DBS, you can give us your DBS numbers. That's not a problem. There's a section on the form where you can just put the number in. If GDPR, this is another thing to be aware of for everybody, if GDPR is an issue for anybody, then please do get in touch and we will work with you on that. Yeah, sorry, I hope that's helpful.
So thank you.
But we will we will find out the answer about the chaperone licenses for you.
On the Dance 5 details and parents form, do we need to send this information to you or is this information we keep for ourselves? We turn the PDF into a Microsoft form so it's easier for parents to fill out. On the day, as for the parent permissions, we don't need access to those, but on the day when you do sign in, you will need the child's name, date of birth, and their postcode. So that needs to be like a printed copy that you bring, and then we'll keep it for in a safe, locked away. So that's what you need on the day. But as a parent permissions, you won't need that.
Yeah, the parent permission form gives you lots of information that you will need to input into the parent and staff details form because there are also questions about equality and diversity and that kind of thing. If you are able for the equality and diversity, if your parents don't want to share that information, there is a section to just say no, like NA. But that stuff in that parent permission form is more for the parent and staff details form that you share ahead of time. So please don't bring me 100 parent permission forms.
But I've been given them before.
We
like
don't
all of them.
We don't need those.
So no images used for AI. You can use AI images. The only thing I would say is that the judges don't like it. They want to see like original content. They want to see you like thinking outside the box. So you can use it, even if you put it in. A good idea if your students were kind of into AI, putting it in your journey videos, they could see how, oh, we learned about using ChatGPT or Copilot, and these are the kind of questions that we asked, and then this is how we like embedded it into our performance. Seeing that connection would be better than just using AI for the judges anyway. That's a lot of the feedback that we've gotten from them.
Yeah. It's more using it as a support rather than the focus, I think. Often it's really hard to use AI enough throughout your whole piece and make it look like the whole piece is cohesive because you would have to break it down step by step, like 5-10 seconds each. So to get that whole thing cohesive across a whole 7 minutes would be really difficult, and probably wouldn't have the effect that you wanted it to, if that makes sense. But please do book the LED screen support sessions because we can talk you through that and we can talk about AI and what you are looking to use and either how we would recommend making it yourself or how to layer it within what you have already to make it look cohesive. Yeah.
How does the audience vote work if some schools have bigger teams and therefore probably have more people coming to watch them?
So that's a great question. We're not saying that we're going to have it right this first time. We're looking at, and we will probably be looking at putting out like questions and polls and that kind of thing ahead of that. But we are potentially looking at doing it so that you can't vote for your own school. There are other things like we might do like a kind of scale, and ask people to scale or like rate each performance and then look at an average and work it out that way. There's like maths and things behind it that we're looking at. So again, we're not saying that this is going to be amazing this first year. Again, it doesn't go towards your finals placings, but obviously we understand that we want you want your parents to feel heard at the same time. So what happens this year might not be what we do every single year, and how we do it. We will find a perfect system eventually, I'm sure. But yeah, we will try and explain what we are looking at, and then offer like kind of polls to get opinions, but also be aware that within that we need to go with the majority, and that we work with a large number of schools. So yeah, we'll try our best, but we're probably not going to find a system that makes everybody happy. Yeah.
How are the running orders chosen? As in recent years, we have been chosen to go first each time. It'd be nice to not be first again. So last year I made there's a lot of reasons to aspects to how the running order is made, from access needs, and if it's an Isle of Wight school who need to leave before the interval. There's a load of little nicky bits as to how we put that together.
It might be kids are doing exams,
Yeah,
and things, and then that's why, so they're coming late. Like there's so much goes into it. We also really want to make sure that in terms of the parents and the audience, that what they're watching is not, if, for example, there's 4 pieces that have a bit of a darker theme, that we kind of spread them out throughout the night rather than all 4 of those darker, more sensitive pieces at the end, and then they just leave feeling like
yeah.
emotional and
Last
sad.
year we had 3 Beetlejuice performances on the same day, and so for that we had to space them out. So there's so many factors into why it is put the way that it is. But we also have a spreadsheet that I made last year where we log where schools went in their things, so we can make it fair. So this year we'll keep an eye out for you.
Yeah.
Helen.
We also we're getting the concepts back now. Some have started to send in their concept summaries. So if there is anyone in terms of the Beetlejuice situation, we will always contact you by email to let you know if another school on the same day as you is doing the same performance, or the same theme, and then you can make a decision as to whether you want to stick or twist on that. So that's also something to note, not to let anybody panic that they might have the same theme as other people.
How much are the tickets?
Tickets are, let me have a look for you. They should be on here somewhere.
I think they're on there. They are on the tickets.
Maybe we do.
Are you on the resource for teachers?
The teacher zone. So it's 17, it's definitely £17.50 for general public sale. I cannot remember what it is for school group bookings. So just to make everybody aware that it's, you can, from the school group booking period, which opens on the 20th of October, you can book for your school. So where the parents pay you and then you pay us an invoice, which kind of means that you all sit together. Once the school booking period is over, that finishes on the 1st of December. That's when we get the last of, that's the deadline for that form. Once that happens and we allocate where all of the group bookings are going, we then open for general public sale on the 3rd of December. So if you want to, you can get your parent, which might be easier for a lot of you, is to just ask parents to book directly from the 3rd of December. So they sort out payment themselves. If you're quite clever about it, you could have a look at our seating plan, which is available when tickets go on sale. You can have a click on to any of those to have a look at the seating plan, and you could say to your parents, look, we're all gonna aim for row 26 of the Guildhall and try and aim for as close as you can to that area. So there are ways that you could be clever about it if you would prefer parents to sit together, but couldn't potentially facilitate group booking, which is understandable.
Will this session be recorded? Yes, it is being recorded, and it will be put onto the teacher zone for you to rewatch it.
We'll also get a transcript pulled off so that you can read it if you don't want to watch the whole thing all over again.
We have some students who are designing the screen content and not performing. Do they need tickets? Do they get to watch?
So if any young people that attend on the day of the event will need to pay for a ticket, that not an audience ticket, this is part of your participation invoicing. If you would like to, you could give them a link to watch. That's what the streaming links are for, that we're organising this year. So if they don't want to come on the day, they will still be able to watch it live. There is a way, we're figuring out a way to do that for this year. But anybody that comes on the day of the event, whether they're performing or not, will need to be part of your participation invoicing. So anyone that might be helping with hair and makeup, for example, stage, like helping with props, that kind of stuff, they'll be part of your participant invoicing fees. Yeah, hope that's helpful. Do you need to place first to advance from the heat, or is this first and second? Great question. So this changes every year, because it depends on, it's all about maths and how many spaces we have available in finals versus how many heats and how many schools we have total. So this is why we make these fun diagrams so that you can see each year how many are going through. So for seniors, we have first places, and is it first place? So there is first place from each heat, and then we have second place top, so it's highest scoring second place from each location. So you'll see here highest scoring second place in Portsmouth, highest scoring second place in Wickham, for example. Portsmouth, we have a bigger amount of heats. There are about 12 heats in Portsmouth, which is why we have two highest scoring second places. But essentially, if you're a higher scoring second place, you won't be told until after all of the heats for that venue have taken place. Juniors is slightly different because we have spaces for first, second, and third, I believe, for juniors. Yeah, which has been quite usual for the last few years. So senior heats this year, it is first place from every heat, and then it is the highest scoring second place from across the whole heats. And we will let you know after that heat has taken place. It will be the next available working day. So if your heat takes place or finishes on a Friday, it will be Monday that we let you know. I'm not going to email you on a Saturday. Yeah.
Our digital leaders who will be supporting lighting backstage and videography, is there any chance that they can be allowed on stage with the dancers during the feedback of the judges? Yes.
Yeah.
We really encourage to get as many students that you have taking part backstage, lighting, streaming deck, get them onto the stage because the judges acknowledge them. So it's a really good opportunity, especially for them to actually be on the stage. So drag them onto the stage.
We'd also recommend for awards, we asked 2 representatives from each school to come onto the stage. Teachers, we don't force you to come on stage, but you will need at least one teacher backstage for safeguarding purposes to be around your young people. But we recommend those 2 representatives, that one is a performer and one is a technical person, so whether that's lighting or the video. Please don't say, I've got 3 that want to come on and it's really hard to decide between them, and can we all have 3? That's really tough and difficult for us. Please try and maybe make your decision ahead of time and stick to that too. So we just want one performer and one of your technical or stage team as your representatives. But yeah, we really recommend getting them as involved as possible on the day.
That makes me actually go back to when I was talking about the video uploads, submissions for your journey video, at the end of your journey video, make sure to include credits at the end of your journey video. This includes all the students that worked on it behind the scenes. The credits are for the Journey Video Award. To be eligible for it, you need to have credits. So make sure all the students' names are in there. Everyone that like took part in making your performance come to life, make sure their names are on there to be eligible for the award. Sorry.
When is the last?
Where's the last date? Of the overall?
So overall, the very, very last day of heats will be
That's Portsmouth.
the 20th of March, and I know that because it's the day before my birthday. So Hastings is our very last heat, and that will be the 20th of March. If you're thinking about the second place highest scoring and you're coming to somewhere like Portsmouth, you'll find out after the Portsmouth heats finish, which is mid-February. I think it's like the 10th or 11th of February. So you won't if you're taking part in Portsmouth and you're thinking about high scoring second place, you'll find out way before March, essentially. So High Wycombe, your last heat date, it's the Wednesday of that week.
Yes.
In March.
And Hastings is on Friday.
You'll find out on the Thursday or the Friday. Yeah. I hope that's helpful.
Yeah. How much is the participation fee for High Wycombe? I'm moving the screen like I'm doing it.
It will be on the where are we? If I go on here, I think it's in here. £16 per child. And you'll notice if you are a returning school, that the invoicing form is a lot more helpful this year. It will ask you to input the amount of young people that you're bringing, and then it will tell you what the total is financially at the bottom, if that makes sense, when you complete that, which is on the next page. So yeah, that's a lot more helpful than what it's been in previous years, where you've had to kind of guesstimate. But yeah, £16 per child. If you have done our refer a friend scheme, so you're entitled to 10 free places, please put your total number in. We will deduct the 10 places after for you, but it will explain that on the next part of the form for you. Cool.
Okay. Are there any more questions before we wrap up? The big first year doing in school. Would it be better?
So it is, in terms of school group bookings, it is definitely beneficial to ask them now if they're interested. If you've started rehearsing, for example, or auditioning, and you kind of have a list of those that you know are very, very likely to take part, then yeah, we do recommend asking parents now if they're looking to book and getting numbers. And then it just means that you can fill out the form as soon as it's live at the end of October. You do have until the start of December to submit it, but it's just handy. Yeah, so you will do the booking on your behalf. Let me see. I don't know if I can go into the back end. No, that's not gonna let me. Go into the back end to get onto the form. No, it's not going to let me. So basically, it will ask you to list the amount of parents that are coming and if anyone needs accessible seating. And then you will be invoiced once we receive the form. And then there will be a deadline for making payment. It's worth noting that if you are doing a school group booking, we can't send you your tickets unless we receive your payment. So it's worth getting it in as soon as possible. as soon as you receive your invoice, then doing your payment, because while we have done it in the past where if it gets to the last minute and we still haven't received payment, we will make sure that the tickets get to you. But ideally, we want the payment before we send you your tickets. It's also worth being aware that tickets come through, again, because we can't rely on the post, but also if you're making payment quite late, it might not get to you in time. So tickets are all sent via email, but it is worth, it comes through in a PDF and some firewalls block that. So if you're having issues opening the file that it comes in, just let us know and we'll download it for you and send it to you via email, which should then cut around your firewall. But yeah, just be aware of that.
Anyone from Willand did A-level dance on her. I recommend this lovely girl to really do for her friend. Wow.
No, I'm sure someone on here is from the Wellington A-level dance day. If it would be helpful, Katie, we can see if anybody said that they were referred by you. Oh, activating learning. Cool. Amazing.
Are there any other questions?
No, thank you.
Thank you guys for coming.
Yeah.
Oh. Thank you.
We look forward to seeing you all in a few months. We can't wait to see what you make.
Thank you.
Thank you. Will we find out schools on the same day as us soon? It'll be probably November time where we get running orders done and sent out.
Thank you.
Thank you. For booking boats. If you drop me an email, Phoebe, or drop us an email, and I can let you know. I think we have that information now, so we can give that to you. If you drop us an email, we'll get that across to you either this afternoon. What time is it? Probably tomorrow morning. I think if I stop the event, it will stop recording.
I think it was